Well, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is an interesting conclusion to this franchise that's been around for nearly 30 years. It doesn't mean this film is great. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it, and there was a few things that kept it from being better, in my opinion. Continuing off from the story of the last installment, Ethan Hunt and his team are still on the mission to stop the dangerous artificial intelligence known as the Entity from destroying the world. Over the years, I always enjoyed this franchise. I've been a fan of it for as long as I can remember, and this was a nice conclusion to Ethan Hunt's story, but my goodness, it does have some issues that drags it down a little bit, such as exposition dumping, and the relationship between Ethan and Gabriel really doesn't amount to anything here, despite how much it was teased in the previous installment. Not saying this is a bad movie, I enjoyed it, I had fun, I wasn't bored, but as a concluding chapter, I felt like this had better storytelling than it would have went out on a higher note. Despite that, this still is an entertaining movie. If you've been a fan of this franchise since the beginning, go out and see this because it is worth the time and effort. As cool as this franchise has been throughout the years, this lacks a sense of finality. Plus, some of the plot is predictable. There were moments I was saying to myself, there is a lot of exposition, and it didn't really move the story in the way I wanted it to end. Not saying this is a bad film or anything, there are a lot of exciting moments. Case in point, the cinematography. My goodness, it's beautiful, especially with that airplane. I was like, man, this is money well spent because to see Tom Cruise still do those stunts at his age, I gotta say it's impressive. Speaking of which, once again, does a great job as Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt's story, the way it ends, it is kind of bittersweet in a way, but at the same time, I kind of wish there was more done for this character in this final installment. I like how it plays homage to past films without getting out any spoilers. It was a nice surprise. Haley Atwell, she doesn't have that much to do here compared to the previous entry, but I still like her involvement here. And then there's Simon Pegg. Benji, he's always been one of my favorite characters. He's a standout here. And just like the previous film, Gabriel, still a forgivable villain. They don't expand on his backstory or any of that. He's just there, for the sake of the plot. Doesn't really add anything exciting, really. And I have to say that some of the action scenes, they are nice. It's not the best in the franchise, but then again, it's been a long time since I watched some of the earlier movies. But I still stand by that Mission Impossible Fallout is the best out of the last couple of them. I'll say like the last 3 or 4. Thing is that this film runs too long. It's nearly 3 hours. So if you watch Dead Reckoning, then this, that's nearly 6 hours of runtime. It should be banned that summer movies should not be that long. I mean, for crying out loud. And I was like, they kind of chopped off 20 minutes and what got into the conclusion much better. Nonetheless, though, I still had a fun time. I enjoyed a lot about this, even if I thought it could have been a bit more. It's still worthwhile in my opinion. And just overall, I just think that this film definitely is still good, even despite the issues that it does have. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. This could have been much better if they had cut down on the runtime and made the story more engaging, but at least it didn't turn out to be a dumpster fire, so that's a positive. The soundtrack isn't anything to write home about, but at least the editing is on point. There are multiple scenes that was done really well, and I really did appreciate it. Anyway, to leave on this final note, this franchise has been around for nearly 3 decades, and while it didn't deliver the emotional, gripping finale that I wanted it to be, it's still entertaining regardless. And that is my review of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.